Classic teaser to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. Really excited to be getting into the final mock draft. Here we are on draft day. Of course, the 49ers won't be picking until late on Friday night, but we still got to get the mock out there. We're going to have a lot of fun. And what's up to everyone that's in chat? I hope you guys are all having a very good day. It's one of those great days that I know we all enjoy. What's up to Freddie Mac Dre, Spidnick Dangers in the house. Good. I love what ZPW was saying. Max Duggan and Sam Darnold, Hinder brothers, Doyle rules. Oh, so fantastic. So yeah, this is going to be a good one. We're going to get into a mock draft. Of course, like always, put out what you're feeling as we're getting into the entire conversation. Let me know about the picks. I haven't started the mock yet, so it's going to be, as soon as we click on it, it's just going to be ready to go. And then, we'll go through it and we'll just make all the decisions as we go through. Really, really excited about this opportunity to talk 49ers draft. So here we go. Let's get into this thing. Let's see what's going on. Can you hear me now? Thank you for saying sound off, muted. Thank you so much, Spidnick Danger. Luke the Don, thank you for telling me that I have no sound. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Let me know what is going on with the sound. Hopefully it's good. So thank you so much. So yeah, so as you can see, Jalen Duncan just went off the board here for PF, on the PFN board. We can go ahead and look who else just went. Cody Mock, of course, really good player. Zach Charbonnet to start the third round. So there's probably really good players. And we can see over here, Hendon Hooker is still available. The 49ers will definitely probably not trade up for a quarterback. So thanks everyone for the sound stuff. We got Warren McClendon, the offensive tackle from Georgia. Sam Laporta, tight end. That's definitely interesting. I like Laporta a lot. I like Jair Brown, Matthew Bergeron. Having them available is really good. Israel Abandakanda, but I'm not trading up for a running back. Deion Henley, solid linebacker. I don't think you're going linebacker. Zach Harrison, I like a lot, the edge rusher from Ohio State. So those guys all make sense. Of course, Nathaniel Tankdell, good player. Jartavius Martin out of Illinois. So there's a ton of really good players that I like on the board still. I'm not sure I need to trade up. There's Jonathan Mingo, who we know I'm a huge fan of. Byron Young out of Tennessee. Wanya Morris. So a ton of talent. Not sure that we are going to have to jump up in this category. I think we can let it run and see who's available at 99 with so many really good players. I know I would like to get Sam Laporta. He's probably going to go off the board once I run it, but there's a lot of tight ends I like later on that are really, really deep because it's really, really deep in the draft. So I kind of like some of these other guys. So let's go ahead and let it run. There we go. We're seeing players come off, guys that I really like come, but you get to 99. Here we are. We got Jair Brown still on the board, so we could go safety. Nathaniel Dale, Jartavius Martin, solid player with a lot of versatility. Caillou Blue Kelly, which I like out of Stanford. There's Tyler Steen. I think he's probably a guard in the NFL. But DJ Johnson, who they met with, Jonathan Mingo, the receiver that I'm a huge fan of, Byron Young out of Tennessee. I don't know how we pass on getting Byron Young with one of these 3 picks because I think they're solid. As far as offensive tackle, it looks like we're going to have to wait. Jordan McFadden, I don't see him as an offensive tackle in the NFL. I see him as a guard. So to me, that's not a lot of value. So tackle-wise, it's Wanya Morris, who's at 126. This wouldn't be much of a reach going to 99, but I don't think we have to do that. So the guys that I'm really liking, and I want to see how everyone else thinks, is I don't think the 49ers value safety as much, with one of these picks. I think if they are going to go safety, they're going to go with someone more versatile like Jartavius Martin, who could play cornerback or play in the nickel, or Caillou Blue Kelly. So I think secondary, those are the guys I like. As far as edge, I like Byron Young out of Tennessee, out of him, or DJ Johnson. I think the film is there for Byron Young. The speed is there. And then Jonathan Mingo, the receiver, is just dynamic. I also like Alec Austin, but I like the guys ahead of him a little bit more. So, that's what Freddie McDray is saying here. He's saying, hey, Mingo with one of those 3 picks. Yeah, I'm with you. Jonathan Mingo is definitely somebody that we have to get. So, Mingo, we know, is going to be one of the 3 picks. It's just who's going to be the other ones. Do we want to? I'm almost willing to take Mingo here and then just see if a trade ends up coming through, just to see what people add. So I'm going to go Jonathan Mingo, pick 99. I like him a lot. Roschon Johnson goes off the board. And so here we are again with the next pick. So we've got a wide receiver that we feel really comfortable about, and now we can make a decision. Jair Brown is still available, but I like Martin's versatility more. I'm very tempted to go with Martin here and lock up somebody that we can really count on, even though I know we need Byron Young, but we have another pick. So I could go Byron Young and then go Martin, and I think I'd feel really good, even though we would miss out on a guy like Wanya Morris. That's tough. Wanya Morris is definitely somebody that I want to lock up, but I know I want to lock up Byron Young the most. So I'm going to go ahead and take Byron Young out of Tennessee. I think that made a lot of sense because now you've got an impact edge guy opposite of Nick Bosa, and we know how important that is to get. So to me, that was the necessary move. And now we just have to decide if we want to go with the defensive back or we want to go with the offensive tackle. Jartavius Martin is still available. Let's look at the corners that are going to be available here. Martin, Blue Kelly, Alex Austin, all good players. 49ers could definitely go with. That makes sense. Mekhi Gardner, a pretty solid Jacorian Bennett out of Maryland. So there are some guys later on, Garrett Williams, that the 49ers could definitely go with. Terrell Smith, they met with out of Minnesota. Are they as versatile as Jartavius Martin? Probably not. So here you look at the safeties. We could definitely get a safety later if we decide to go with an offensive tackle here. I really like, we know I like Trey Dean, but I also like Ronnie Hickman, even though he's coming off the injury, and I do like Jay Ward. So there's some talent there as well. And of course, we could always strike, with Jarvis Owens later. So to me, it doesn't have to be a safety, but it could be. Let's look at offensive tackle. We got Carter Warren. He's going to go off. Tyler Steen, Wanya Morris, who I think Wanya Morris is kind of the next best guy for a long time. I don't see the depth there. I mean, here's kind of Ryan Hayes I like, but this is way deep in the draft, so it kind of falls off a little bit. So, I mean, it's one of those things where, yeah, I see in the chat, Luke says Wanya, Seth says offensive tackle. Louis is liking the pick so far. D-back is deep. We can get that in the 5th. There you go. So a lot of people are saying, let's go ahead and wait. Let's get the offensive tackle now. And I'm in agreement. Let's go ahead and let's get Wanya Morris. I think it's a solid move. Insulate ourselves and really start to feel comfortable. So Wanya Morris is going to be the next pick for the San Francisco 49ers. And now we have a long wait, and we see a lot of guys coming off the board here as we're going to get to 155. And let's just go back and let's see who's on the board. The defensive tackle, don't like that one. Tyjae Spears from Tulane. Braden Daniels, offensive guard from Utah. That's a solid one. We went edge once. Isaiah McGuire's here available. That's a solid one right there. I like him a lot. Don't have to go edge because there's other edge guys that we really like. Here's Jacorian Bennett, the corner. Will Mallory, a tight end that I like, and we haven't went tight end yet. Kobe Wooden, I like him as a guy moving inside with the athletic ability. Riley Moss, cornerback. There's Garrett Williams. Demario Douglas, a speedy slot guy. Here's Jay Ward. But we know we got some picks coming up, right? So we don't have that much farther. We got 155, 164, 173. So we're going to have like 3 picks within 20. So we know we have a little bit of time to be able to go grab a couple of guys. So we don't have to go deep into this. Let's look at a couple of the positions. We know we want to strike at tight end. We probably want to hit, a couple of tight ends. The way that they go about their rankings, we can get Josh Weil late. To me, that's a lot of value there. I mean, these guys right here, Ben Sims, Brenton Strange, Blake Whiteheart, Braden Willis, all being super late means we can get our second tight end late if we want, or even both of our tight ends. I think that's interesting. We went offensive tackle. I don't think they'd go running back here, even though there are some guys. Keaton Mitchell with the speed, I think a lot of people like for sure. Defensively, we talked about Isaiah McGuire. We see Yaya Diaby here. One of my guys, Thomas Incoon, but we could get him later if we want to get our second, edge rusher. Now, there also is Carl Brooks later. So when you're looking at defensive tackle, yeah, Kobe Wooden's a beast, but I like Carl Brooks later, and I actually like Carl Brooks more than Wooden. So it's not like one of those things where I have to get one of those guys now. There's Marte Mapu. So we got some time and to pick guys. Daryl, what's up? So the super chat said Ant-Man and the Niners draft Mania. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I like that. So let's see. Luke the Don says Jay Ward is versatile safety and nickel. I know, I like him a lot. Seth says whoever the quarterback is going to need extra protection, offensive line upgrade is safe and needed. Luke the Don says Jay Ward can play 2 spots. Yeah, I like Jay Ward. I want to take Jay Ward with one of the 3 picks. I really do think I want to because I like him a lot. Let's see where he is as far. Oh, look at that. He's one of the last safeties left. So, would we be able to get him later? Let's see. Let's look at the board. Let's see where he's at as far as all the other players. Is there a guy we have to get? I mean, if we got Isaiah McGuire, I'd feel pretty good about getting him to go with what we already got with the speed guy off the edge. That might be a perfect situation. Can we wait on Jay Ward until the next pick so we can get Isaiah McGuire? I think that is the biggest question. Yeah, he's doubling down. Paul says, nice to see you back and hoping all is well. All is well. Yeah, it was a great 3 weeks. I got married, moved into a new house, went on a honeymoon. Now I'm happy to be back and good to see you in chat, Paul. So my question here is, guys, take Isaiah McGuire now. I like him a lot, or go with defense and go with Jay Ward, and potentially, that way you don't run the risk of missing out on getting an impact safety who can also play the nickel. That I think that's the big question. And I like McGuire a lot. I like his ability to play multiple positions. He's a base 4-3 defensive end who can play the run, but also has the bend and the athletic ability to get around the corner and make plays on the edge. We got a lot of value here at 155. To me, McGuire makes the most sense. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to select Isaiah McGuire to be the guy. And I'm going to really hope that Jay Ward makes it to the next pick because that's where I would love to go. And it looks like he did make it. So let's go over there and check it out. Jay Ward still available. Let's see who else is available just for, the ability to look. Will Mallory still there. Kobe Wooden still there. But this is kind of that area that I really like. Jay Ward, there he is. And I think there's a lot of really talented players still available. Thank you so much, Luke, for the well wishes to me and the wife. I really appreciate it. One of those things where, I was missing out on doing the draft content because I really enjoy doing the draft. But when it came down to it, I mean, as far as life goes, it was a really great time in my life. And I enjoyed it, and now I'm excited because now the 49ers draft is back. So here we go. We got potentially Jay Ward, I think, is going to be the pick here. I think I like the versatility. I think this is a good spot for him. We address an issue. So we've gotten 2 edges already. So, I mean, you get Isaiah McGuire, you get Byron Young. To me, this is a solid move. So Jay Ward is the pick, and now we're at 173. Who we got left, and we still got a lot. Look at this. Will Mallory still there. I like him as far as athleticism from the tight end position. 4.5 speed. Really solid player. Demario Douglas. If you're looking for an eventual replacement from Ray McLeod, he makes a lot of sense. Here's Payne Durham. I know a lot of people are very high on Durham. He's just a very solid tight end. This is probably the spot we start thinking about going tight end. There's going to be a lot of value here for tight end. You see Yaya is still there. If we do go tight end, Yaya's probably gone, but we did address 2 edge guys already. So that's pretty interesting. I'm not sure, but I think Thomas and Coon, yeah, he did. Guy I'm huge on, got drafted early right there. Interesting. I didn't see that coming. I thought he was going to be available. Oh, here's DeJuan Johnson, a guy that I'm a huge fan of, who could be a late round guy we look at. But we went edge twice. We don't really have to go edge. We went offensive tackle with Wanya Morris. We don't have to do that. We can see who's available in the guard situation for interior. Antonio Maffei's there. Nick Saldiveri, who, I mean, I've seen him going as high as the 3rd round. He's available. Of course, the Niners could go quarterback. I don't think they draft a quarterback until extremely late. So let's just see who's the best on the board. Looks like Tajay Spears, Will Mallory. So it could be the time to strike on a tight end. A dual threat tight end, block and catch. So yeah, it could be. What's up, Soleil? How's it going? Says Keandre Coburn, defensive tackle out of Texas. I do like a defensive tackle. But I like a defensive tackle later because even though I do like Coburn, I just really, really like the athletic ability of some of the other guys that are available. And so I think that, waiting and getting a guy like, see, here's where it is. I love Josh Weil. I want to get Josh Weil as a tight end. And here's Carl Brooks, who I'd love to get as the defensive tackle. Played edge at Bowling Green and had 11 sacks. He's got a lot of lateral quickness. But he's 6'4", 303 pounds, has the physical ability to play on the inside and kind of fits the athletic profile of like a Javon Hargrave as far as, size to weight. I'm not saying skill or anything like that, but he's a penetrator and can go after it. So I like him a lot later. He's probably, in some mock drafts, he's a 2nd round talent. So the fact that he's rated this low is kind of interesting to me. Mallory, tight end, we could always go Josh Weil because when looking at tight ends, it is one of the deepest. You see Weil there, but look at the guys, Mallory, Durham, Weil. I like Ben Sims. Brenton Strange is a beast. I've heard him. He could go in the 2nd round. Blake Whiteheart. There's so much talent. We could actually go later. And Paul is saying Saldiveri allowed 0 sacks. Yeah, Saldiveri is somebody that we could start going after once we kind of get, into that 6th and 7th round. Saldiveri's probably going to be there. That's what it looked like. So, Saldiveri would make sense at some point. Here he is right here. But look at the rating from PFN. I don't know if they're right, but if they are, that's huge value late. So we know who we want to end up with. The question is, which guy are we going to take right now? We know we want to end up with a tight end early. We want to get another one, so we probably want to get 2 tight ends here. We could go back-to-back tight ends. But I also want to walk away with an interior defensive lineman as well. We want to probably walk away with Saldiveri to give us some help on the inside. So, and also, yeah, I mean, that's what Soleil is saying. Mallory only 6'3". So let's take a look at the cornerbacks. We'll see who had a cornerback. We did not draft a cornerback yet, so we can see who's available there. Riley Moss is still there. Garrett Williams, I like both of them. Terrell Smith and Nick Jones, I like. So these are guys that could get later because I like both of them. Daryl Lutter as well, they met with. I think he's another guy that has late round potential. But Riley Moss and Garrett Williams are two solid players who have definitely went up and down the board recently. We got Freddie McDray talking about defensive tackle, and there you go with Dante Stills right here. I think Dante Stills is solid. I like him. I like Brooks more than him. Here's Keandre Coburn that we were talking about. I also like Dom Peterson out of Nevada. I think he's a guy that no one really talks about. Here's Jared Clark. I know he's a favorite of some. He's definitely a big physical, imposing player. So to me, those guys definitely make sense. So there's a lot of defensive tackle talent as well. So let's see. What are we going to do here? Will Mallory, like it was said, was 6'3". They have him listed as 6'4". I like Mallory. The question is, do I want to go different with different tight ends and go somewhere else right here? I like Durham too. This one's tough for me. This spot is kind of tough. I think I'm gonna go with a solid player, but I'm not gonna go with the tight end Mallory. I think I'm gonna take a flyer on a different tight end in this spot, a guy that I like. I like the size, I like the athletic ability, the pass catching. I'm gonna go with Josh Weil, and this might be a little early, but I don't care. I like him a lot, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it. With conviction, Josh Weil. And now a lot of people are going off the board. We'll see what's available now. Marte Mapu still available. Antonio Mafi. Carl Brooks is available. So some of those defensive tackles are still going to be available. I'm sure we did miss out on a lot of really good players. Let's take a look at the board. Coburn is still there as well. So tight end, we dressed it a little bit with Weil. We could still get another guy here pretty soon. We have Ben Sims, Brenton Strange still available. Davis Allen, Blake Whiteheart, who I'm a huge fan of. Gavin Reinhold is so funny. He's still on here. He's definitely retired. My buddy used to train him, and I sent him a thing, and I was like, dude, I sent my friend a thing, and I'm like, hey, Gavin coming out in the draft? He's like, no, he's retired, man. He's done. So he won't be in the draft. So here we go at the guard spot. We know we were talking about earlier getting Nick Saldiveri, so he's still available. So we got a couple picks here really quick. What positions do we want to attack? Defensively, I know we were talking about cornerback earlier. Let's take a look at the cornerbacks that are available. Looks like cornerback got picked over pretty good. Daryl Lutter is still available there. So, I think I'm going to go with Carl Brooks. I like Carl Brooks. Brooks is going to be the guy. Mapu just went there. But I want to get a guy that, I know can make big time plays. He can do it. We've addressed safety. We have some cornerbacks that are available if we want to go cornerback. Ben Sims, we don't need to go tight end right now if we don't want to. There's Dom Peterson, but we just went defensive tackle. There's Brenton Strange. That could be just tremendous value. Brenton Strange, Daryl Lutter, the another guy that we like later on. So this is where it starts getting to fun time. Guys that you can kind of just take the chance on that can make an impact on your team. Ooh, center to develop. I like that. That's a Luke saying center to develop. So let's take a look at the centers. I mean, we do have Nick Zakel. But you see Alex Forsyth here. He's definitely an option. Alex Forsyth would make sense. So